game extraordinaire, offensive coordinator. Just how you thought, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, just the success you guys had running the ball has sort of become the identity of this offense this year. I think you're fourth in the Big Ten in rushing offense.
Yeah, I think, it's like I always talk about, like, we got some really good players in the backfield, and you got to get those guys touches. And I've said it before that, our job as coaches is to get our playmakers the football in space, and I think that, in the run game, we've been able to do that the last couple of weeks, to be honest with you. And Tracy's obviously been a really, really good player all year. Maccabee's talented. Those two have kind of carried the load the last 2 weeks and try to get them in space. The O-line is as mixed match as it is these past 2 weeks. I mean, like, we're going out there with probably units that have never played in that group together, and they still created creases, you know what I mean? And we were able, like I said, to get some really good playmakers in space, and then those guys ran the ball really well, ran it hard. I think the other night we, especially with what we had available, rushing the football really was going to give us our best chance to win, and we did some really good things. And just the margin of error is really small when you're as thin as we were, and we made too many small mistakes to win that one. You know what I mean? But I do think the run game and those running backs and kind of what we did in the run game was going to give us a chance to win, and it did. Like I said, we just made too many small mistakes that ended up costing us.
You've had success, a couple games ago with Hudson running, Ryan Brown running. Is that a different element that these guys can add? You're getting a lot of yards from your quarterbacks in the run games.
Oh, for sure. That hat makes it tough. I mean, for a defense, I think, because you're adding extra hat to the run game, and so now you're evening out the numbers in the box because normally you're going to be outnumbered. And if the quarterback can read it, or if he can run the football, you add an extra block with the running back. You can create issues, and so having athletic quarterbacks like those two can really help you. Ryan did a good job the other day, like you said a couple weeks ago. Huddy, and he had a couple design runs, but he also pulled a couple. You know what I mean? So he's the extra blocker with his read. So adding that really, really helps, and it makes them play a little more honest. It might slow that defensive end down just a little bit, and that may be the difference between those running backs getting in there or not, which takes a run from 3 to 5 to big ones. You know what I mean? Like the other night, we ran an outside zone, and Tracy popped it for, 20 yards or something. You know what I'm saying? And some of that is because we're slowing down that backside, because there is the threat that the quarterback can take off with it. And so it's definitely helped in the run game. And like I said, having athletic quarterbacks or guys that kind of put a little fear in them that can run the football definitely helped the cause.
What do you think of the two quarterbacks, Bennett and Ryan, on Saturday? Some positives there, something to work with?
For sure there were some positives, and they did some decent things, and then there were times where it looked like it was the first time playing college football, which it was, you know what I mean? And that's the unfortunate part of it, because, kind of mentioned earlier, like rushing for 300 yards, like if you look at a lot of the things that we did, like you'd say, man, you're going to win that football game. And but like I said, there's just small mistakes, in particular at the quarterback position, that we made that killed drives or whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? And when that happens, like I said, when you're playing like we were, like, you can't afford those. And so like Coach Walsh talked about it since we first got here, the two things that can get you beat are turnovers, mental errors, and penalties. And the quarterback room had all three of those. You know what I mean? Like a couple penalties, the pre-snap motion penalties were on the quarterback, a couple turnovers on the quarterback, and then just some easy stuff that we didn't get, which falls in the middle area category. But they definitely did some positive things, and like I said, we moved the offense. A lot of it was running the football, but some of it was with them. They moved the unit pretty well. We just got to do a better job finishing those drives and not making the small mistakes that, like I said, the margin of error is so small in this league that you can't afford them.
Seems like up until this week, every position has been beat up a little bit, except maybe running back, and I know Tracy's been nicked up, but now, those guys are beat up a little bit. So just you got to get through one more game. Is it, at this point, just adrenaline trying to get you through?
Yeah, I guess. Tape, adrenaline. I don't know what's going to get us through, but we'll find a way. Like the other day, we wake up and two offensive linemen that we thought were going to go basically woke up with injuries on Saturday morning. You know what I mean? It's like, what in the world? But that's kind of been an unfortunate piece. But it's like like I said, you wake up, you think a couple guys are going to play. They don't play on the offensive line, and they still went out there and competed and did a really nice job, especially in the run game, And so I'm proud of the guys, the way that they just, hey, whoever's up, let's go get it. They play really hard. But, yeah, we're going to have to get creative with personnel. You're probably going to have to see a lot of different people in there. Guys that probably haven't got as many snaps as they have most of the year, that'll have to get snaps this week. To find a way to, like I said, get through another game. Like I said, but whoever's in there, I expect them to go out there and play really, really hard and still move the football and find a way to try to score some points and win a game.
Has this been as challenging a season for you as an offensive coordinator as you've experienced in your coaching tenure?
I think from an injury standpoint, stuff like that, for sure. But I think from a staff standpoint and from a just group of guys in that locker room standpoint, it's been, obviously the outcomes haven't been what you wanted, but it's been a really fun season because you got the right people, you know what I mean? And that's been a fun part of the season because, like I said, the group of guys we have, a lot of them have been banged up, so you're playing with a bunch of different people, but the way they just attack it every day makes it easier to come to work, And like I said, I think we work the staff that Walt's put together, a bunch of great people that like I said, when you wake up, there's been places where we've won a lot more than this, where going to work wasn't near as fun just because the people in that building and the players you're working with. And we have an incredible group of guys, like I said, that they've never made an excuse. Like I said, there's been a lot of guys hurt. The next guys come in there, they've all played really hard and competed and given us a chance. Obviously, we'd like to win a whole lot more games, but the efforts there, we got to clean a lot of things up from a discipline standpoint and stuff like that. But from an attitude and effort standpoint, these guys have been incredible to work with.
When did you learn that no matter what the record is, if you beat Indiana, that's a good end of the season? So.
Yeah. That's kind of what I hear. This will be my first time in the rivalry, and obviously I got a little taste of it with the basketball last spring when we first got here. Got to see that a couple times. And so playing Indiana on the final game of the year, it kind of reminds me of the Washington State game. No matter, Washington State, no matter what was going on with that season, that game was huge, and in the Apple Cup and I think it's very similar here. No matter what's going on with either team, that game means a lot. And I know in that locker room, there's a lot of guys. We have a lot of guys from the state and a lot of guys that have played in this rivalry before. And so the importance of this game for us as an entire group is huge, and we need to go play really, really well. I know they'll be excited. I know they'll play hard. It's going to be really important to us to be super disciplined, do our job at a high level, and if we do, I think we'll give ourselves a chance.